It was supposed to be the happiest day of Daniel's life. The wedding everyone had been waiting for was only minutes away.
Zara, are you okay? I'm fine.
But she wasn't. Moments earlier, a message had appeared on her phone, one that changed everything. Daniel had no idea that while he was waiting for his bride, she was fighting the biggest decision of her life.
Zara! Zara!
5 minutes passed, then 10. The whispers began. The bride is missing.
No,
She left this for you.
I can't believe it.
I'm so sorry, Daniel.
The wedding was over before it had even begun. But what nobody knew was that Zara didn't run away because she stopped loving Daniel. She ran because of a secret someone was desperate to keep buried 3 months earlier. If you asked anyone, Zara and Daniel were the perfect couple.
You know, I still can't believe you're going to be my wife.
I've been asking myself the same thing.
The families approved. The wedding date was fixed. Everything seemed perfect. Then, Daniel introduced someone Zara had never met before, his closest friend, David.
It's nice to finally meet you.
The pleasure is mine.
But after everyone left, David couldn't stop thinking about Zara, not because he liked her, but because he knew something that Daniel didn't. He looked at one old photograph and whispered to himself, if she finds out the truth, this wedding will never happen. As the wedding day got closer, Zara should have been happy, but something didn't feel right. Daniel said, "Everything is ready. It's going perfectly." But the more Daniel smiled, the more Zara started to feel uneasy. David tried calling her, but she still doesn't know. David knew time was running out, but he still said nothing. Mrs. Adeyemi said, smiling, "You are welcome, my daughter." That was when she saw it. Something she wasn't supposed to notice. The paper wasn't meant for her eyes, but she had already seen her name on it. Zara whispered, "What is this?" Zara couldn't stop thinking about what she had seen. It wasn't enough to explain anything, but it was enough to make her uneasy.
You've been quiet lately. Is something bothering you?
I'm just tired.
Only 2 months left. I can't wait to call you my wife.
For a moment, Zara convinced herself she was simply overthinking, but someone else couldn't stop thinking about her either.
Can I speak with you?
Of course.
If I were you, I wouldn't rush this wedding.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry. I've already said too much.
Now Zara had 2 impossible questions. Why was David trying to stop the wedding? And who wanted her to stop listening to him? Zara stopped sleeping peacefully. Every message now felt like a warning or a trap.
I brought something for you.
You didn't have to.
Daniel was building a future, but Zara was questioning everything.
This wedding is not just about you. It is about both families.
Now it wasn't just love, it was expectation. David was getting closer, but saying less.
Who is sending me these messages?
If I tell you, everything ends.
And for the first time, Zara realized something terrifying. This wasn't just about a wedding anymore. It was about a secret someone was willing to destroy everything to protect.
Have you told Daniel about the messages? No. Why not? Because I don't even know who to believe anymore.
Zara had spent days living in fear, but fear wasn't giving her answers. If someone wanted to stop the wedding, she needed to know why. Daniel noticed the change. The long conversations became short. The smiles became forced, and the woman he loved was slowly drifting away.
You're here, but your mind is somewhere else.
I'm just stressed about the wedding.
For the first time, David was finally ready to talk. Or so Zara thought.
Zara, we need to meet.
Tonight?
Yes, before it's too late.
Zara looked around. David was nowhere to be found. Had he changed his mind? Or had someone stopped him? David never came. He never called. And by morning, his phone was switched off.
Excuse me, have you seen David?
He packed his bags early this morning. He said he was leaving town.
Leaving town without saying a word? Something was terribly wrong. At the same time, Daniel noticed something that didn't make sense. Why had Zara been looking for David?
Where are you?
I'm just running an errand.
Just as she was about to leave, she noticed an envelope. Zara was shocked to see that the man she was about to marry had been hiding something this big all along. The photograph made her heart stopped, and with trembling hands, she kept staring at it. Standing beside Daniel was a young woman who looked exactly like Zara's late sister, Amaka. Amaka had died 5 years earlier. The family had tried to move on, but Zara never stopped missing her. Zara whispered, "How did Daniel know my sister?" Meanwhile, Daniel finally went looking for David, only to discover he was gone. David's neighbor said he packed everything yesterday, and he said someone was looking for him. Daniel froze when he heard that for the first time. Daniel became afraid, not because David had disappeared, but because David had promised never to leave without telling him. An unknown caller called Daniel and said, "If you want to see David alive, cancel the wedding." Daniel's face turned pale. At this point, whoever had been sending Zara those messages had finally made their move. Zara had stopped asking questions. She wanted answers, and only one person could give them.
Tell me the truth. How did you know my sister?
Daniel looked at the picture, as though he had spent years trying to forget it. Daniel said softly, "I knew Amaka. 5 years earlier, Daniel had survived a terrible accident. It was Amaka who stayed with him until help arrived. That was how they met."
We weren't lovers. She was simply one of the kindest people I'd ever met. After she died, I couldn't bring myself to tell you.
Then, Daniel's phone rang again. This time, it wasn't an unknown number. It was David. David called Daniel whispering and said, "Daniel, they know I spoke to Zara. You have less than 48 hours. And Daniel responded in shock, saying, "Who are they?" Then David said, "They're coming for both of you." Then the call suddenly cuts off. Now the mystery had changed completely. This was no longer just about a wedding. Someone was determined to make sure the truth about Amaka never came to light. For the first time since this nightmare began, Zara and Daniel stopped blaming each other. If they wanted the truth, they would have to find it together. Back at her parents' house, Zara searched through everything Amaka had left behind. She was hoping for memories. Instead, she found questions. Zara found one of her sister's diary where she wrote that, "If anything happens to me, the truth is inside the blue file." For the next 2 hours, they searched every box, every drawer, every cupboard, but the blue file was nowhere to be found. Daniel suddenly remembered something. Just weeks before Amaka died, she had told him. She had witnessed something terrible. Amaka had to him that, "If anything happens to me, promise me you won't stop looking."
She wasn't afraid of dying. She was afraid no one would know why.
Daniel had just got a scary text message that "Stop investigating." Or David dies next. The wedding was only days away. David had been kidnapped. The blue file had vanished. And somewhere, someone was willing to kill, to keep Amaka's secret buried forever. David's life was in danger, but before they could save him, they needed to understand why he had been taken. Their only lead was Amaka's old workplace.
Amaka wasn't just an accountant. She started asking questions nobody wanted to answer.
Most of Amaka's files disappeared after her death, but one notebook had somehow been overlooked. Every page pointed to one thing. The blue file wasn't ordinary. It contained evidence. Evidence someone had spent years trying to erase.
These aren't random payments. Someone was moving money through fake companies.
Then, Zara saw a name she never expected. Someone both families trusted.
If this is true,
Then we've been looking at the wrong people all along. David, where are you? Don't come for me. Find the blue file before they do.
David was still alive, but time was running out, and somewhere, the person behind all of this had just realized Zara and Daniel were getting dangerously close to the truth. The notebook mentioned one final location, the last place Amaka visited before she died. 5 years had changed everything. Dust covered the shelves, silence filled the building, but Zara couldn't shake the feeling. Her sister had left something behind.
Amaka came here often. She always said knowledge could protect people.
Then the old man reached beneath the counter and handed Zara something he had been keeping for years. Amaka's wrote in the letter that, if you're reading this, it means I wasn't able to finish what I started. The blue file isn't where anyone would think to look. Trust your heart, not appearances. For the first time since this nightmare began, Zara allowed herself to cry. Not because she was afraid, but because she finally felt close to her sister again. They didn't know. Someone had followed them. Every step they took was being watched.
Wait! The last book Amaka borrowed,
She never returned it.
Locker 27. It wasn't a book that mattered anymore. It was what Amaka had hidden inside. Locker 27. For 5 years, it had quietly waited, holding the final clue Amaka had left behind.
ready?
I don't know if anyone can ever be ready for this.
Their hearts sank. The locker had already been searched, but whoever came before them had overlooked one thing. Amaka wrote in the letter that, if this locker is empty, it means they found the blue file, but they can never erase the truth.
Copies?
So the blue file wasn't the only evidence.
At the bottom of the page, Amaka had drawn a map, one final location, the old church where she used to volunteer.
They found the map. Don't let them reach the church.
The map led them here, the old church, a place Amaka once called safe.
This place feels untouched for years.
Or carefully left untouched.
They searched everywhere, until Zara noticed something unusual. The floor beneath the altar was different.
Help me!
Careful.
Amaka wasn't just hiding notes, she was building a case, a complete backup of everything.
This is bigger than I thought.
She uncovered corruption.
You shouldn't have come here.
As the stranger stepped into the light, Zara froze. She knew him. So did Daniel.
Uncle Bello!
It can't be you.
I warned Amaka to let it go. She refused.
Years earlier, Amaka had confronted him. She believed he was responsible, but the truth was more complicated.
I didn't kill your sister. I made the mistake of trying to protect powerful people. And because of my silence, she died.
Before anyone could say another word, the real danger arrived. They had escaped, but only with part of the evidence. Inside the box, one final envelope waited. Amaka had prepared for the possibility that she would never come home. For years, Amaka's voice had been silent. Now, her final words were about to be heard. Amaka wrote in the letter saying, "My dearest Zara, if you're reading this, then I wasn't able to protect you the way I wanted. The people behind this aren't just criminals. They are respected, powerful, and they survive because good people stay silent. Daniel is not your enemy. I trusted him. If anything ever happens to me, trust him too. The person you should fear isn't the one giving orders. It's the one everyone believes could never do wrong." At the bottom of the page, Amaka had written one name, The person she believed was behind everything.
We don't run anymore.
No. We finished what Amaka started.
But before they could make their next move, the enemy made theirs. They had been found, and there was nowhere left to hide. The attackers searched every room, but Zara, Daniel, and Mr. Bello had escaped minutes before they arrived.
If they know you have the evidence, they'll never stop chasing you. Then we stop running. We make them come to us.
How about a wedding?
Exactly.
Thanks to information Mr. Bello provided, the police found David, weak but alive.
I tried to warn you. They wanted the wedding stopped because they knew both of you together would eventually uncover everything.
The wedding wasn't canceled. It was still going ahead. But this time, it wasn't just a celebration. It was a trap. Hours later, everything looked exactly as it had in the beginning. The guests arrived, the music started, the groom waited, and once again, the bride disappeared. It was supposed to be the happiest day of Daniel's life. The wedding everyone had been waiting for was only minutes away.
Zara, are you okay? I'm fine.
But she wasn't. Moments earlier, a message had appeared on her phone, one that changed everything. Daniel had no idea that while he was waiting for his bride, she was fighting the biggest decision of her life.
Zara! Zara!
5 minutes passed, then 10. The whispers began. The bride is missing.
No,
She left this for you.
I can't believe it.
I'm so sorry, Daniel.
The wedding was over before it had even begun. But what nobody knew was that Zara didn't run away because she stopped loving Daniel. She ran because of a secret someone was desperate to keep buried. Everyone thought Zara had run away, but she wasn't escaping the wedding. She was walking toward the truth.
I knew you'd come.
You said you had the last piece of evidence.
Your sister never knew when to stop. And now, neither do you.
But Zara hadn't come alone. Every word was being recorded.
I didn't mean for Amaka to die. She forced my hand. If she had stayed quiet, she would still be alive.
Just as they had planned, Daniel had followed her, and this time, the police were only seconds away. For 5 years, the truth had been buried. Now, it was finally coming into the light. The moment the recording played, everything collapsed. Years of silence, fear, and lies. Zara played the recording loud enough for everyone to hear. I covered it up to protect the network. Amaka wasn't supposed to find out. David was no longer a suspect. He was a victim too. Used, then discarded.
I tried to protect my position, but I ended up protecting criminals instead.
Now the truth was clear. Amaka didn't die by accident. She was silenced because she refused to stop investigating.
She was alone.
Not anymore.
For the first time in 5 years, Amaka was finally at peace.
So, what happens now?
Now, we stop surviving and start living.
After everything, they were finally free. But healing was only just beginning. The storm was over. The lies had been exposed. And for the first time, the wedding was no longer a trap. Zara didn't feel like a bride who had survived a nightmare. She felt like someone who had finally found peace. Daniel no longer feared the unknown, because the truth had already set them free. This time, no one ran away. No one followed secrets. Only truth remained.
We almost lost each other.
But we found the truth instead.
Amaka was not forgotten. She was not erased. She became the reason truth survived. Some paid for silence, some paid for fear, and some had to live with what they could not undo. In the end, love was not destroyed by truth. It was refined by it. And sometimes, the hardest stories to live through become the most beautiful ones to remember.